Yay, I'm live. Uh, I did take the time to remove my eye boogies this morning. This is Dr. Lueth. It is 11:48 a.m. Eastern Time, New York, USA, and it is January 4th, 2026. Um, Obviously, this is hockey talk. Um, I I do mention certain like health things and um, as I go. One of the symptoms of a movement disorder, which is where discernation, when it comes to the medical field, does get a little iffy and dicey, is fibromyalgia are often included and sometimes can mimic certain things like tremors. So some of my tremors do come from the fibromyalgia. Uh, but I have other symptoms and they are not necessarily common to fibromyalgia. So, a sleeping movement disorder, because of certain other things, my fibromyalgia is a symptom of functional neurological disorder. It's taken a very, very long time, long, hard, difficult time to be able to discern that. I mean, fibro is bad enough as it is. So, yes, it's why when I did talk to a movement disorder neurologist, I mean, it was clear I didn't have Parkinson's, which is, good news, but it doesn't change the fact that I've got other issues. So, yeah, but I am a doctor and I'm actually working on another PhD slowly but surely. Um, I usually have to get scholarships or work for it or some other kind of thing. Anyway, but yeah, I'm qualified as a sports psychologist. And one of the things about the Winnipeg Jets, here's the thing, is that in chats, when I go on the chats, kind of as a fan, uh, it's like, it's not really the best place for me to make certain statements, but, you know, I'm coming from a place of, I actually do know better than some of you, and some of you just refuse to listen to the actual reality of certain things, National Hockey League style. So, what I'm doing right now is I'm opening up another window and I'm going to the website. Okay. It's looking pretty much like these guys aren't going to make the playoffs this season, which is unexpected, of course. Um, but for me, as a long-time hockey lover, I mean, I'm still going to watch all 82 games. And, like other people's versions of excitement differ from mine. I've never been bored at an ice hockey game. So I don't know. I think I love hockey too much. But also, you get to see the other team. So sometimes the other team is playing much better than your team, and you get to see like world class players. Like, also, other teams aren't stupid, and other teams do their homework too, and other teams know how to shut the Winnipeg Jets down, which is my biggest issue. And I think at this point, no matter what Scott Arniel does with this lineup, uh, like, I'm not sure how to put this kindly, but I mean, Cole Perfetti is not. Uh, he's Cole Perfetti is playing AHL hockey at best, right? If he's meant to be scoring goals, that's what he's doing is not the way to go about doing that. And I've seen hundreds and hundreds of players who are goal scorers, and not a single one of them do what Cole Perfetti does, trying to set him up, his own self up to score a goal. I mean, it's so highly ineffective. It's why I mentioned, well, maybe he's playing on the wrong side. I mean, there's effort, but it's at this juncture unacceptable. Okay? And I don't like saying things like that at all. I don't. Because I know that it's hard. You start, most, pro hockey players start at the age of like 4 or so, and they play and they sacrifice a lot, and they have to, I mean, it takes a really long time to become good enough to be a pro ice hockey player, even if you're a naturally born, good player. It takes work and time and all this other stuff. So I don't like saying it, but I mean, I can't agree that what Cole Perfetti is doing is proper NHL style anything. But so I'm looking at the Winnipeg Jets website. All right, that's what I'm doing right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going into what the team fan, like team. It's under the head team. Hockey operations, Manitoba News, Hall of Fame, Manitoba News roster, hockey operations. So I'm looking at hockey operations, and we know, a lot of people know, Kevin Cheveldayoff, it's known as Chevy, is the general manager, and then Creasesinger, which is the senior vice president, director of hockey ops, and assistant general manager, and then Larry Simmons, vice president, assistant general manager, so on and so forth. Yes, going on here, and the coaching staff. Okay, so when looking at the coaching staff, okay, I'm just talking about Scott Arneal. Okay, we have Marty Johnson, assistant coach, Davis Payne, assistant coach, Dean Chenoweth, assistant coach. Now they don't all, you don't see them on the bench, all of them, right? So we had a video coach, Matt Prefontaine. Video coach is an important job in a NHL franchise. So Wade Flaherty, assistant coach. He's the apparent goalie guru, right? And then James Cochran, he's the coordinator of hockey video. Yeah, and then there's administrative positions and all that. So you see how many coaches they have. Okay, so now I'm going to go into team front office. Going in front office. Okay, our people. True North Sports Entertainment. All right, there we go. Now, see, Mark Chipman is executive chairman and governor. Okay, so, right. And then we have chief operating officer, True North Real Estate Development. Okay, well, some of this is True North and not necessarily entirely Jets based. But what I'm looking for, and I am not sure where they're mentioned, general manager, Hockey for All, vice president, management. Okay. But I don't know where they're listed. I know I saw them. What I'm trying to get at is the medical people that they have here. News, premium videos, schedules, stats, community, foundation, team, where would they be? Jobs. One night for every holiday, 2 million So I mean, looking at, I have to admit that there are quite a few, uh, yeah, official NHL websites for franchises that are much, much easier to navigate than this one, for sure, and much, much more fan friendly. And some of them have like Hockey 101 schools, some of them have features that are much more fan friendly. And I can't really give the Winnipeg Jets high marks. Like, I would say they're in the bottom half of all the NHL websites. Yeah, the bottom half for sure. Anyway, so team doctors. Let me see if we can find that in the search. Reading. Nope. Articles, all 48. Anyway, well, I know I saw at one point that they have psychologists, psychiatrists, and you really only need one psychiatrist. But then again, Canada is a little different from the U.S. Anyway, let me see. Video, news, tickets, community, donations, Jets Fan Foundation, talks, team roster, hockey ops. Well, let me try hockey ops again. I might have missed something. Right. I mean, I check these things, but I mean, the one that comes to mind quickly is that, well, you can tell how much like time, energy, and effort, and the priorities of certain clubs. Like the Tampa Bay Lightning have a lot of dental specialists, which make fucking sense. Yeah, I use bad words here. Coaching. Oh, here we go. I didn't go down far enough. Okay, my bad. Coaching staff at the Moose. Player development. I know. Okay, Mike King. Jimmy Roy. All right. Research and analysis. Nerdies. The nerdies over here. The medical team. Hi. Medical director, orthopedic surgeon. Oh, yes. Like a hockey club without an orthopedic surgeon is never going to be successful. Another primary care. Okay, orthopedic surgeon. Yes, there's quite a few of those. Optometrist, one dentist. Emergency medicine. One dentist. All right. Dr. Morgan. Ooh. Marcoux. OUX is usually like that. Right. Psychiatry. Dr. Jitner Serene, psychiatry. Dr. Mackenzie Atkinson or Atkinson. Sorry if I didn't say it right. Psychiatry. Neuropsychologist. Carmen, and yes, two females. Okay. Are the Winnipeg Jets like running some kind of like medical lab? Because like, well, what I'm hoping is they have like outside affiliated teeth people or oral surgeons, dentists, endodontists, orthodontists. Right. This is my hope. Right. Well, there are certain things that can happen in your mouth, particularly your teeth, that can actually kill you. It's highly deadly. And right, these guys like get a lot of surgery and have, Like if something's not done right, they can have an abscessed tooth or a bad root canal and it may not get caught. And right, so I'm hoping some of those in emergency medicine listed are, yes, oral surgeons. Right, but okay, it's like you got two neuropsychologists, psychiatrists, neuropsychology or psychiatrists. Let me see. Neuropsychologists. Okay, right, but they're very biological based positions. The brain, the mind, the physical body, neurology. Okay, they're not counselors. They're not psychologists, talk therapists. And oftentimes, see, I'm not sure, this might be a Canadian thing, but oftentimes in the US, psychiatrists are not usually talk therapists. And how many of these people played sports? How many of them are athletes? I mean, I'm bringing up things that fucking matter. And when people like ignore you when you are trying to help them and save them from a great deal of issues and right, including possible deaths. In the US, psychiatrists are not talk therapists. Okay, psychologists are. Now, the two neuropsychologists, why does a National Hockey League franchise need neuropsychologists? Are you running experiments? How much do they get paid? Are they just like affiliated or what's going on? Okay, sports psychologists, yes. By the way, that is what I am. Right. This I get. Talk therapy, well, maybe they need, medication for depression or um, PTSD or bipolar or, whatever. Okay, because in the US, the psychiatrists are the prescribers. Sometimes, right, primary care physicians can be, but they have to consult with a talk therapist, licensed clinical social worker, or a plain psychologist. And I'm asking how many of these people, of the three psychiatrists mentioned and the two neuropsychologists, are athletes and grew up athletes? My guess is, right, maybe only one. And I'm hoping that they do have a larger group of individuals handling, right, the oral care of their ice hockey players, other than just one dentist. Just like maybe they get called in for consultation or whatever, and it's not like right. But this is extremely concerning to me, especially considering that I've looked on every single of the 32 teams' websites and browsed them and perused them and are psychiatrists in Canada under a different sort of situation when it comes to like America? Are they sports psychologists as well, or are they talk therapists? I mean, neuro. I don't even care if it's Canada. I mean, these two ladies, neuropsychologists, um, how are they helping the team, the player personnel? I'm not seeing that at all because those people aren't talk therapists. They're either researchers, right, or they're specialists in, right, maybe concussion, but the mental health care here seems lacking at best. I don't know why any team would need 3 psychologists and 2 neuropsychologists. I can understand sports psychologist and yes, a psychiatrist, one, to consult in the case of known mental health issue that has to do with medication being a proper way to manage it, handle it, and allow the player to cope. And only one dentist listed. Well, in comparison to all the other 32 teams in the National Hockey League, this is highly suspicious to me. And it's not really making a lot of sense. Mama friendly. Okay? I mean, I'm mentioning it because it's just something like maybe the entire club needs a nice, big, heavy duty look at itself. And clearly, some things are going wrong. And, like I said, on some of the chats, again, someone who I'm just going to keep coming at like a wall saying, oh, he needs to see the sports psychologist. And I'm like, yes, well, I guess he has to find his own sports psychologist because the team apparently does not employ one. That would be Mr. Eric Comrie. And no, I don't think that Mr. Eric Comrie needs a sports psychologist. I mean, I'm sure it might be helpful, but I think what Mr. Eric Comrie needs is to be right with another franchise because it is just not at all hockey smart in any way to allow your backup to get that cold. And the people who want to just get rid of Comrie and blah 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 blah. What I'm going to say is, you. Okay, the Leafs game proved my point that Comrie was sitting around getting too cold because Hellebuck was playing too much. And Hellebuck needs like a regular kind of schedule. And it's a normal thing in the NHL for your backup to play, yes, consecutive games. A lot of times when you have back-to-back games, a lot of times the clubs will, yes, have switch out to back up with the starting goalie. And it's just, I'm looking at this and I'm being honest and saying, okay, Canada, I know I come from the U.S. booming. Fine. We'll get it all out of your damn system because, has Canada and all the people have to do with the clubs ever really sat and took a really good look at themselves and their inner workings and all the other things that motivate them and so on and so forth? Do you guys know why you have not won a Stanley Cup in decades? I mean, I'm willing to have the hard conversations. And I'm willing to say the stuff that so many of you just refuse to talk about or it doesn't get brought up. Well, I'm bringing up the fact that Eric Comrie got too cold. And that's a real thing in the National Hockey League. And as far as practices are concerned, I'm like, yes, how many of them have any of the fellas gotten? And many, many, many chatters, fans, and press, okay, said all these things about how, oh, okay, Lowry had a bad game, and Perfetti's having bad games, and Nyquist is having bad games, and, Shen is having bad games. But you're still expecting them to play and learn. Oh, excuse me. Eric Comrie had a bad game. To just throw him away like he's a piece of trash. Hold on. Hello. Hi. Oh, actually, no, I'm good. I got stuff. I already got stuff. Yeah. Okay. All right. Bye. All right. I got a health home nurse coming over. And some things I bought from my friend Doug from my band, One-Legged Popes, who has stopped taking chemotherapy treatments and is currently on hospice care. So, anyway, I'm saying, some of this looks very, 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 I don't know whether it's suspicious or just, I can't imagine why a franchise would need 2 neuropsychologists and 3 psychiatrists and 1 dentist. Because I have seen everyone else's setup, every other team's. But it's like Canada, I care. I give a shit. And maybe people are ignoring me because they don't want to hear it, or I'm not pretty enough, or I don't have the best graphics or whatever. But when it comes to Mr. Eric Comrie, I have put out there, I'm asking every other franchise, right, Mr. Eric Comrie would make an excellent backup goalie. He has a good attitude, and he's pretty good, especially if he can play regularly and not whenever the hell people decide that, like some superhuman robot that isn't a human, which is what many of you seem to think, and I disagree with you with every fiber of my being. So I am very much looking for a place for Mr. Eric Comrie to go where he will be far more appreciated and get the proper support that he needs. So I have someone coming over here now, and I can't continue. But I'm sending that, yes, I overrule all the hockey gods, because obviously not gods to me. Alpha Omega overrule here. You need help. Winnipeg Jets, the whole organization does. And some of the press do too. And I would be quite happy if the Canadians finally get a Stanley Cup back. You guys got to admit some stuff, and you got to stop ignoring some things. So I got to go. I got somebody coming, and they can't be on camera. Okay? So everybody take care. Go Jets, go.